Welcome back, and I'm also excited that we're going to learn about text colors and background colors. Now, this is probably where the default Bootstrap is noticed by most of the developers, because the colors just might sell you out, but it's just beautiful colors, and it simplifies how you apply color. So if you want to, let's say, mock an application or something very quickly, it's just a matter of you putting in the classes and you get the color. First thing, as always, we're going to create an element, which is I'm going to copy the most recent. Copy and paste it came in handy to assist coders. Then paste. It's our fourth video, and it's about text background colors. Okay, I'm just trying to save time, so text and background color, text and background color. I'm just going to copy that, paste, then delete all the rest, cause it's a new day and you're going to learn about new things. Save and click on that. So we've already linked, that's the beauty of copy and paste, we've already linked the Bootstrap file, the CSS file and the JavaScript file. If I go say text and background colors. Okay, so let's start. We'll start with background colors. If you want to apply background colors, it's just as simple as you having the div element, and in that div element, so I'm going to say there are different contexts and about 10 of them, and we're going to learn each of them. So the first one is primary, and for you to get the primary background, I'll just say, so let me just use h4 with a class that says text success, and we want margin top of margin y, that's both top and bottom, of 3, and this says background classes, so that we are not confusing most of the items. As you can see, this is primary. So for you to get primary text, primary background, which is a blue background, we use bg primary, which is a class. If I save, you get the blue background. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because the 10th one is here. So next one is secondary, and the way to do it is just put in a class of background secondary, which is bg secondary. I'm going to put it there, and here we say this is secondary. Or actually, let me just paste in that. If I save this, you can see secondary looks like that. It's grayish in color, so the background is secondary. And then the next one is success, which is green in color, and the way to put it, you guessed it right, let's just put in the background secondary, and here we put in as well, and the green background is there to show. Next one is danger, and the way to put it, let me just type in faster, danger, and this is where we can say bg danger to say this is a danger background, and as always danger is red, get it, the red. Next is warning, and this is yellowish if I'm not wrong. bg for background. After that, we now start getting the info, which is light blue, and it's not like that, and here is bg info, get it, yep. And after that, there is another context class, which is light, bg light, See what happens there. So it's a light gray type of background. Then after that, there is the dark context, BG dark. As you can see, if I save the element, this is BG dark, and you can't see anything. So we're going to learn about how to bring that text that has been blackened out to the forefront, but that's how the dark background is seen. There is one that is called black. If I save it, it's deeper than the dark one. And let me see, BG black. Okay, if we do a background color that is black, it's going to be like that. Next is the white background. If we can just white, this is BG white, save it and see what happens. It's basically the default one, which is a white background. Then there is one that you will rarely use, but it happens to exist, and that's the transparent background. My apologies. Transparent background, and I want to see if I can get my text to be another color. Just introduce. See, it's a transparent background, but I've just put in a different context color. Okay, so that's how you're able to put in your backgrounds. Next, let's learn about how to put text color. So I'm going to use this. Just copy this up to H4, and the same way text background have classes, like context classes, is the same way texts also have, and that's what I'm going to use. Of course, they will not have transparent. So it's as simple as just replacing the background color with the text. The background text, like BG hyphen the context color, we just put in text. And then I'm also going to replace all this. Not important. It's not important in this tutorial that I be this strict, but for the sake of the students that are going to learn using these boiler templates, then it's good that I change that. If I go to the browser, as you can see, primary is now blue. This is text secondary. It's basically just uses the context color here, the same as the background colors, but it's applied to the text, not the background. The background is still the same. And that's how we are able to use the different type of colors. You can see white text has disappeared into the background. If I want to apply both a text class and a background class, the simpler way is just to come here, like let's say the text white, I'll apply a background that is dark. Okay, and you're able to see the white text. Okay, same to the light text light. If I do BG dark, you're able to see it because the text is white and the background is white. That's why you couldn't see it. Now, instead of applying these two classes for you to be able to see your text, you can use a shortcut in Bootstrap 5. Let me see if it's going to work, because text and background and background classes. If I save that, let me remove this. If Bootstrap by itself can find the right context class to apply it. So the way to do it is just to add the background class next to the text. So instead of doing it like here, text light BG dark, if I just highlight all this and just apply the background color, It's going to be like this, and then I press the Alt key or the Option key and just go down. Again, this is Emmet and its beauty. So background, if I save that, see, text and background classes, it finds the right background for that type of text. Okay, so for a blue background like this one, let's put a black text to it, and that's how you're able to apply a background and text that actually fits it. But that's not all. We have something called gradients, and I'm just going to also use this class, or probably actually use all the classes. And the way to do it, it's going to be the same as gradient classes. If I save that, it's the same as the previous one, but the text and gradient classes, let me use inspect element for it to be centered properly. As you can see, it's the same as this one, which is text and background classes. But watch what happens if I add the class of BG gradient. If you want the background to be a gradient color, I don't think there is need for you to ever have a text with gradient colors. It just looks funny in terms of design. And then to add a gradient with, you just add the BG gradient to whatever background that is there. Remember, it just takes the background context that you've put, primary, secondary, etc., and just makes a gradient out of it. As you can see, the blue here or the green here for text success, look at what it's kind of similar, but this is a gradient. It's not what it was before. So that's how we apply gradients to our text. And if we want to also apply opacity, there are two ways, and I don't know if there was a bug in Bootstrap 5, but I hope they have actually corrected it. If I want to apply opacity to it, so let's say if let me just use this and say opacity. Opacity classes. Then if let's say I just have which element can we use? Let's say a paragraph that has, say, this is default danger class background, and actually apply a class. We've learned that we can do text BG danger, because I don't want to put too many classes. So this is how it looks. If I want that to be applied, opacity to be applied to it, I can apply the class of background opacity, and let's say 75 as an example. Remember I said there was a bug initially, but now this is working, because if you use the Bootstrap min bundle, this one, it's not going to work probably, but if you use the Bootstrap CSS as what you've linked on top here, it's going to work, as you've seen. So that's 75% opacity, as you can see. Opacity, let me say default class background with 75% opacity. Opacity is basically how opaque it is, and you can go all the way up to probably 10%. So let's go. I'm going to copy this paste it 3 times, and this one I'm going to say 50, this one is 25, and this one is 10. So 50, opacity 50 here, this one is 25, and this one is 10. And remember, this can be used on any contextual color or class. That means success, danger, secondary, whatever you put there. I just used danger to show you an example. can see the opacity is going down all the way to even 10%. So that's how you're able to shift your opacity. And the text as well can be affected, and if not affected in a bad way, but its opacity can also be affected. And I'm going to just take this, and because I don't want to type a lot and elongate this video, so I'm going to say text opacity, and this one is background opacity classes. And instead of text bg danger, we are going to say, okay, this is text danger as an example. Boom. And this is how we are going. This is default danger class text. Danger class text. Now I'm going to remove all the rest, and still Emmet got me. Let me just actually, it's just highlight here. This is then shift left arrow all the way to class, delete that. Then from there, I'm just going to apply a class of text danger, like the default text, and then text opacity, then initially this was 75, 75, 50, 25, and 10. Then this is not text, not background, it's text. Let me shift that to text. Then if I save, you should see it happening. See, boom, 25%. So it seems like there's no 10% opacity 10, because if text is at opacity 10, you'll not be able to see it. So I'm going to remove that. Now you've learned it ends at 25%. That's how you also apply opacity to text. Lastly, we are going to pass through the link colors. So if you have some links, you can change it. So if this is going to be, let me just copy this. I'm in love with copy and paste. It just saves us time. So link colors. Let's change here and say link colors, link color classes. And actually, let's just delete this. Delete. If I have a paragraph text, and or probably paragraph, and inside we'll just place a link. It's just going anywhere. Right? And no more link. If I save that and go, you see, this is how a normal link in HTML5 or Bootstrap is going to look like. But watch how I'm going to apply the different contextual classes, and you will see the difference. It's just beautiful. So just like the other ones, we have different contextual classes, and this one is 6 of them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope I've not done 7. Okay. And we are going to do classes. And apply to the link. And then it starts with the link and then the contextual class. So if this is primary, so I'm going to say this is primary link. This one is a secondary. This one is success. And then this one is info. It's an information link. Then what else is remaining? What else? Danger. danger. And this is going to be the last one, which is warning. This is a warning link. Save it. You see? So a normal link looks like this, which is the same as a primary link. Then secondary looks like this, success. See, it changes depending on the context color that you actually applied to it, and it actually beautifies the link better than the default one, which is a normal link here. So ladies and gentlemen, that's how we're able to change the background and text colors depending on its context. See you in the next tutorial where we are going to learn about spacing. See you then. Bye bye.